it's Anna at ArtReach. Today we are going to talk about Henri Matisse. So Henri Matisse was born in 1869. Here's a photo of him. And he lived in France. He started out doing a lot of painting. Kind of traditional painting at the time. And he started painting, little like Frida Kahlo, where she was on bed rest. He started painting because he was home recovering after having his appendix removed. That got him into painting. So he started out painting. And his paintings started to get a little bit more, like a little brighter, a little more abstract, less literal forms, more impressionistic, or pointillism, where there was little dots, just kind of capturing colors. So these are some of his famous paintings. But then Matisse and his paintings started to get a little bit more abstract. He experimented with a little bit of cubism and some other ideas that were going on in painting at the time. But then Henri Matisse had surgery. He had cancer and had to have surgery. And as a result, he couldn't really paint very well anymore. It was too physically hard for him. But he still wanted to make things. So he started painting with paper. He had assistants because by this time he was a pretty well-known artist. So he had assistants that would paint paper just solid colors, and then he would cut them out with a pair of scissors into different shapes, and his assistants would help arrange them for him. So these are some more of his pieces. And there is a Matisse piece. I don't have a photo of it, but one of his cut paper style pieces is at the Anderson Center in Red Wing. So when we are able to go visit in their permanent collection, they have that there. All right, so my challenge to you is to make your own Matisse-inspired cut paper picture. So you are going to need some paper. These are scraps of construction paper that I have here. You can use construction paper if you have that at home. If you have white paper and paint, you could paint sheets of paper into different colors. That's what Matisse did, or had his assistants help him do. And then cut them up. If you've got scrapbook paper, even if you have old magazines or catalogs that have nice colorful pages in them, you can cut those up and do this same project. So Matisse is most famous in his cut paper work for these shapes that sort of represent things you might see in the ocean. So they're kind of leafy plant, seaweed, mermaid kind of shapes. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to cut, but you can come up with your own. You're also going to need a pair of scissors. So hopefully you have a pair of scissors that's appropriately sized for you. I have big hands, so I've got big grown-up scissors. And we are just going to cut out some different shapes. So he didn't really worry too much about the shapes as he was cutting. He cut designs that he liked, but he didn't always think about where they were going to go after they were cut out. So step one is just to cut some different shapes. They can be kind of blobby shapes. There's another little blob shape. They could be kind of spiky shapes. So work on your cutting skills, cut out some different pieces of paper, and then get yourself a plain piece of paper and you can stick these on. So if you've got a glue stick, if you've got tape, if you've got liquid glue, whatever you have, arrange them and you can play around with different arrangements. Do you like it better if it's like this? Or what if we switched these? Is this the top? Or is this the top? You can play around with it. That's kind of the nice thing about painting with paper, is that you can play around with those arrangements until you get the picture the way that you want it and glue them down. All right, happy creating.